Good morning, my flowery foliferous friends. That's a new word I've just picked up on Instagram this week. I am back in the shed. I'm almost running late for work, but that's how I rock and roll. Sorry, boss. But we're going to plant Lisianthus seeds. Now, Lisianthus is known to be a diva, which is perfect for our farm because we grow dahlias, also big divas, at getting growing from seed. Now, we have a wonderful climate for Lisianthus up here. I tested 8 plugs last year, and they repeat flowered. And when I was speaking to someone at the Melbourne International Flower and Garden Show, they told me that's really unheard of, which is fantastic for us. So we get a flower in spring, and then in autumn, they come back up and do their second flower. And for me personally, because I cut them back, I actually got more flowers because they spread out like a dahlia would. You know, when you pinch out, they give you all their extra shoots. It did that. And the shoots are quite long. Probably a bit short for florist use, but certainly for what I use. But anyway, dahlias, Lisianthus seed, big diva. So I'm just going to start these trays off, and you can come with me, and then we'll come back and I'll start talking to you about the seed. Okay, so my seed mix is now in, and I use a brand from Osmocote. Seed and cuttings, you get this at the Green Church. Because it's got everything you need in there, growth stimulants. I have cut it down to make it go further. We're using perlite and a bit of coir. But I've been having a really patchy germination rate recently with my seeds, and I'm not sure what the issue is. So I've gone back to basics, and I'm just using pure straight out of the bag. The healthiest seed I can possibly get. So all my seed, commercial flowers, usually come from Ball. They are a wholesaler, so it is difficult for you to get it as a home gardener. But we are looking, because my seed sale online has been really popular this year, that we might start buying some of the seeds I like to grow for the flower farm, and then the excess I can then repackage and sell. But that's the project for another day. So Lisianthus seeds like lots and lots of light. They're a tiny seed, like smaller than a poppy. And they take a long time to grow. So we're going to put them on the soil so that they get all the light that they need. Now we're talking like 16 hours a day. So behind me, I've got them on timers. We're also in these little cool trays, and I got all this off eBay when I started. So the tray comes up, and then in a tray, so I can bottom water, so that the water can seep up through the trays, and we're not disturbing the top of the soil. I hate the leaves getting wet too, so drip lines, that kind of watering. Think about that if you're going to grow them in the garden. Because you can get Lisianthus quite easily. Most of the garden centres have those pots of colour, and you'll find Lisianthus in there. And they are very popular because they flower for a long time. Once they flower, like for spring and autumn, they're not a quick bloom and finish. They will keep their longevity, and then they're quite slow moving from flower to flower because they're multi-headed. And you get at least 2 weeks from a cut flower out of them as well. So they're a good all-rounder, and they're worth persevering with. Now, I said the seed are really small, so they come actually pelletized, which means they spin them at a high rotation with clay. And within the clay, they spin them with clay, and then they keep having a bit of moisture until they kind of pelletize, and then they dry them out. And they look something like, if you can see them here, then these little picks of dust. So then it's really important before they germinate, that we keep them moist, so that this coating breaks down and lets the seed germinate. Otherwise, the seed's got no way to grow because it's locked up inside the clay. So I'm going to sow these on the top of the soil, just like so. So they get all that light. And then finally, we're just going to give them a really good spray. Now, I'm aiming to spray them at least 3 times a day. The reality is it's probably 2 because of work. But we just want to keep sure that those pellets stay nice and wet. And then we're going to put the humidity dome on too. So again, keeping that moisture in there. Then providing that we get enough moisture into these pellets to start breaking down, in about 7 to 14 days, we should start having baby lisies. So we'll come back in about 2 weeks, and hopefully we've got baby lisies everywhere to show you.